Why'd you hit your head? You were going through a gate.
It's wonderful because it's already working. By the way, hi everybody. It's already off to a great start, and that face is wonderful.
Good thing they can't see it.
Okay. Anyway, my name's Laurie Croft, and here with me is Linko100.
Yo.
And while he is playing, I assume that's Xenoverse? I can't really see from here.
Yeah, Xenoverse.
Cool, he's playing Xenoverse, I'm playing Spin on the Chair, because I'm entertaining.
Way. Shut up, Ghost Mapper.
We're going to be talking about EB Games Expo 2017. So, yeah, it's just come and gone, and that was a thing, right?
That was very much a thing.
Thing.
A thing would be the correct term.
Yes, I mean, there's been a few ones where they've been really good. Probably one or two that have been really, not bad, but I guess the best term would be disappointing.
Yeah.
This probably more reaches to the disappointing side, but I'm going to say it's like solid in the middle there.
I feel like the disappointing side of it was when you go to an expo like this, you expect content.
Yeah. They literally hyped up like the major games coming out. Like, hey, here's Wolfenstein, here's Call of Duty, here's Detroit.
Here's your mum.
Besides that, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and South Park. And then outside of like the 6, 7 sort of games, it was like, and there's everything else.
They didn't really like, yo, check this out, check this. No, it was literally that.
There was like a few of the games that were just around. There was like Shadow of War, which despite my comments on it several times, Shadow of War wasn't something that was overly hyped up and everything. Even though it just came out, Forza Motorsport 7 wasn't hyped up either. That was all about the Xbox One X over that side. WWE 2K18, Monster Hunter World, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Ni no Kunai 2. All of these things are just like little tucked away sort of games, not something that usually has a big thing that stands out and says, hey, come play this game.
Literally, I would say the same thing about Sonic Forces, but at the same time, I have seen the actual fan base of Sonic be like absolutely insane for this shit, which I must sadly admit I'm a part of. But like, if it wasn't for them themselves own hyping the shit, it wouldn't have any sort of hype at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, the one thing that they did have going for them is they were opposite the PlayStation booth, and especially like coming out of sort of Call of Duty, VR, or Gran Turismo, like that was the first thing you saw leaving that sort of booth. So like maybe they could have gotten some people coming out of PlayStation, but outside of that, yeah, they were not really well hyped. A lot of the sort of tech stuff as well, like Omen, Razer, Logitech, they didn't have a whole lot of big things either. I think it just comes down to the venue, honestly.
Yeah, there was literally not much, purely because of how big the freaking...
It's the comparison between Sydney and the Gold Coast. It was... The Gold Coast is great and all that, but we only have the sort of one venue and it's oh so big. And the Expo, I feel, has reached a point where it's too small to be big, but too big to be small.
Yeah, where going to Sydney is...
it doesn't have enough to be able to sustain in Sydney, as evidenced last year with half the shit they had.
Yeah, versus
but
here, where it's just like... They did jam-pack it with games for once, but at the same time, it was like... There should be more.
Yeah. They also had the Megastore, which was kind of disappointing. I mean, granted, one of those things was my own fault. I was hoping they would have had the Horizon Zero Dawn Thunderjaw statues. They didn't have any. That made me a little sad. Yes.
I'm pissed.
Oh.
I'm very pissed.
And?
At EB directly.
Oh.
Where the fuck's my shirt?
Yes. I wasn't even going to bring that up, but good point. So every year they, as would every expo, like your PAX, your BlizzCons, your whatever you do's, they always obviously have like the event, I was there sort of crap. They didn't have that this year. They've had it for the last 7 years, and they didn't have it this year. Which was like, but why?
I wanted my new pajama shirt, damn it!
I wasn't even like that. That was going to be my thing. Like, I liked the logos they had. They had the All-Stars, They had the UG for the Ultimate Gamers. Even the EB Expo banner itself was all pixelated, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And then just no shirt, no logo, no I was there, no hats, no cups, no shirts, just all that sort of generic sort of merchandise that's always at every event that just says I was there. None of it was there. It was really disappointing for one thing.
I mean, it saved me money in the long run, but at the same time...
Did it though? Did it really? We just ended up spending that money on other things.
Yes, let's not dive into that.
I'm quickly going to take a photo of my laptop for no reason.
Oh, just to show the...
Well, this is one of the things that I ended up buying, which is all these decals, which you can see from the little cat. It has the actual website where I got some of these from. Essentially... It's a Monster Project Scorpio. That was from Xbox, and look, we have an Xbox One X. Free stickers, yay.
That literally should be called Xbox Scorpio.
The little Tracer logo, I don't even remember where I got that. I got that from last year, so that's just always been
It was the same store.
Really?
It's the same people.
They don't have it anymore on the store.
That's
sad.
No, that was from the same group of people that were doing it.
Yeah. And then all the other ones are all from the website that's there. So yay, shilling, whatever.
Shilling?
Shilling merchandise, dockets, money, print dollary
dues. You're getting paid?
No.
Then why are you shilling?
Because why not? But yeah, I ended up spending more money. Okay, at the EB Expo, like the store, I bought a Razer Manowar headset and not that.
The Cheers Love?
I will get to that. No, I bought a Razer Manowar headset and a mini SNES, but at all the little stalls, I bought the decals that I showed you before. I bought an awesome shirt that I'm not going to show you because I'm pretty sure that goes way beyond the boundaries. And I also got Trace's little pistols, which was pretty cool.
I was kind of upset that I didn't have enough money to get a soldier gun, but excuse me, that gun was $200.
Yeah. They also had a few collector's editions I wasn't prepared for. Like Final Fantasy Stormblood, I wasn't ready for that to be there. I thought that was gone.
You already have the game!
I know, but I was more like, really? You have the collector's editions? Really? That's interesting. Some of them were disappointing. Somehow there was a lot of Destiny 2 collector's editions that kept getting sold, despite the very well-known opinion of the said expo goers of, quote, F Destiny. So I'd like to know who the hell was buying these collector editions.
The people who were saying F Destiny, clearly.
Probably. Be part of a group. I'm popular.
Sheeple.
Sheeple. That's a good term. I'm going to start using that now. Sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple.
I guess the main thing that we got to get to, just before we actually get to the main thing, is there's also, just like with your E3 and all the other ones, there's your presentations. Now, the presentation lineup they had Bethesda and WB Games on one day, which I didn't go to. I'm pretty sure you didn't go to.
No.
No interest. They were hyping up, I think it was Wolfenstein 2 and Shadow of War. Is what it is, whatever. But they had Ubisoft, which was amazing, and Xbox, which was disappointing. Because Xbox handled it like E3 and just trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if that's what you're going to do, I have YouTube for that.
Yeah. That's literally what YouTube's for.
Yeah, and just Ubisoft changed it up slightly and made it entertaining, but Xbox was just blah. They also tried to hype it up as, hey, look, here's the difference between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and that was a disaster. That did not go over well with the fans.
The comparison between PC
The PC
and
gamers,
Xbox.
I know a fair few PC gamers who actually walked out when they saw that saying that's a lie. I actually know one of them, my brother. Thumbs up.
Even I, the person who is the console guy, who looks at the PC people and go, just shut the fuck up. I'm one of them. And I looked at that and go, that's bullshit.
Yeah. But now let's get to that out of the way and get to the actual point of what this sort of expo was about. The games! Yay!
Is it really?
It is now. Well, I'm making it, because that's what we're reviewing to this point now.
Mm-hmm.
So, as said, there was a few games, obviously, there where we had your popular ones, your Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Origins, Call of Duty World War II. They had God of War there, but it was like a experience and view, the trailer, essentially.
Watch a video.
I assume that's what it was. There's Super Mario Odyssey, a whole lot of different bits and pieces. Just going off some of what at least I thought Call of Duty World War II was the last game we played, and it's a Call of Duty game. You played one, you played most of them.
I have to partially disagree.
No.
Call of Duty maps in the past have always been solid for Call of Duty.
Yeah, I will fully agree with this point. This point was very bad.
Yeah. Call of Duty maps in the past have always been fair to both sides and have been legitimate. The map they displayed to show World War II was atrocious. It was literally a single route that branched two ways. That's it. And when you have two branching ways, what do you think the defensive side's going to do?
Especially when it's only 6-on-6. There was so many problems to point out. I like that and I feel Blizzard's sort of done this with Overwatch, but I like that more multiplayer games are going to a more objective base rather than just straight team deathmatch.
Yes.
Team deathmatch will always have its place, and I'll enjoy that, but I do enjoy actually working with a group to an objective. That's sort of like an entertaining thing.
Not kill focus.
Yeah.
Map focus.
The problem was, again, with the map they chose, we played... Well, shut up, you. Besides that being true, we played both attack and defense, and both points, attack and defense, got caught at the second objective, and both times defense won.
By a landslide.
Yeah. Like, you could take the first objective, that was pretty decently easy. The second you got to the second objective, there was next to no hope. Yeah. It was really, really hard.
It was way two-sided to the defense.
Yeah.
Way two-sided.
But that was Call of Duty. Next up over there, we had... I played Gran Turismo. I thought it was pretty decent, smooth sort of racing game. If you're going for a racing game this year, I would recommend Gran Turismo.
That was the one you did in VR, right?
Yes.
That looked solid.
I played Forza. Forza, it might have just been the car I used or something with the controls or something. I love the Forza Horizon series, but the Forza Motorsport series leaves a lot to be desired. That's all I can kind of say about that. It looks pretty, though. Oh, shit! 10 out of 10!
Yeah, that's... I imagine... Hello, IGN. How's it going?
Yeah, literally. But, hey, that is what it is. We also had, over there, Detroit Become Human.
Now, that is a game.
That was pretty fantastic. It is apparently being made by the same guys who did Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls.
Now, I have had prior knowledge of Heavy Rain, and I immediately saw how the creators of that game were the same people, purely just by how they handled the game in general. It was literally the same mechanics.
So, the correct term is interactive narrative.
Now, you say that in a bad way.
I usually do, but I will say in this way with Detroit and how they've done it, it has a chance to be good.
Yes.
Like, really good.
Yes, totally agree.
Like, this is how the genre should have been from the start good.
Like, the only reason Heavy Rain itself didn't do as well as it should is purely because it's one of those stories which can't appeal to all people.
Yeah.
Literally, the dude chops off his own... No, hang on. No, let's not go there.
Spoiler alert!
Let's not go there, that's a spoiler. Play the damn game.
Yeah.
Literally buy it. It's worth the money.
Also, the last thing we had over there was we tried VR, which they had The Inpatient, Skyrim, and what we both played, Bravo Team.
Now, Bravo Team, I have more back history. They are from the same creators as Payday 2.
Yay! I thought this was really entertaining, but it follows the same sort of thing every shooter reaches at a point where it's like, there's only so much this will get to till it's not fun. But that short little tutorial thing that we did there for the VR, that was fun.
It itches your shooter itch.
Yeah, that's literally all it does.
And if your itch is
VR.
If it's unsatiable, your itch, like it was for me back when I was a teenager, then you will love this game.
But yeah, it was a game. It was a shooter. You played one, you played them all. Although this was in VR, which was really actually kind of cool. I really enjoyed it.
Just be aware of your surroundings. I played one that was a bit buggy.
Yeah. No, I played the good one. That was good.
Even though you weren't aiming down the fucking sights.
And I was still shooting them in the head.
I know. That's why I was like, the fuck?
Because I was literally... So how I was aiming was apparently, because I can't see because I got the headset on, was I was aiming to the sky, but on my screen, I was closing one eye and I could see the red dot and I could headshot them.
No, it wasn't that you were freaking shooting at the sky. You weren't doing this with the gun. I'm pointing upwards. You were, like, doing this. Like, here's your gun. And on the screen, it looked like you were just, like, had it to the side, like this, and your gun was like this, and you're going shooting in the head. And I'm like, how are you aiming?
Yeah, that's a thing. But, then after that, we also went around a bit. Omen was there, they had a little competition. They had Overwatch, which we were going to give a go, but when it kind of calculated out to be like an hour odd wait on average, it was like, it's Overwatch. It's not really worth it to a point.
I have purely a comment on that. It was a 19-minute wait, worst case scenario. This is coming from a person like with over 1,000 hours of freaking Overwatch playtime. I know what a bad game and a long game looks like. And with the amount of people there who were there saying, "Oh, this is my first time playing Overwatch."
Correct term was scrubs.
Yes, the amount of scrubs that were there, like. To put it simply, those were going to be either really short games or very long games, depending on how many scrubs were in it. Best case scenario was like 25 minutes. Worst case scenario was 90, and we were not willing to find out.
Yeah. On the opposite side to that, though, we ended up having... in the middle of it was Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Now, ironic seeing I'm playing Xenoverse.
Yes. Look, I'll say what I thought at the start, what I thought before going into it, and it pretty much stands true. If you think of it as Dragon Ball Street Fighter Edition, it's literally that.
Yeah.
You just have Key Blast as well.
Yeah.
That's basically the only difference.
I'll pay that. It is literally Street Fighter.
Not to say that's a bad game. It's actually quite fun, but as with Street Fighter and Tekken and Pokken Tournament, all those sort of fighting games, it's only fun to a point. Then for it to keep being fun, you need to have like people to play with.
Once again, it's if you're a fighter, you'll have that itch. You'll love this, especially if you're a DBZ fan.
Yeah. Also on the way was WWE 2K18. If you played a wrestling game, you played this one, you played them all. Except this one was a lot more fluid. Again, just like FighterZ, not to say it's a bad game, but if you played it before, if you played one before, you've probably played this. Still good. Then we finally get over to Ubisoft. Now, we only tried 2 games in Ubisoft. They were advertising Just Dance, South Park Fractured But Whole, Assassin's Creed Origins, Far Cry 5, and I feel they were advertising one other one, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
They had the old Call of Duty playing there.
Did they?
Yeah.
Gross.
The Advanced Warfare series.
Super gross.
Yeah.
Either way... ended up playing Assassin's Creed, which I will give all the props in the world. It's pretty fantastic. They've changed up the controls, though. So at the start, I didn't quite enjoy that. And I was still... Going in, I was on the fence. Coming out, I was on the fence. But after Bethesda's... Ubisoft, they're all the same in the end. I went there. After Ubisoft's presentation, and they kind of half showed a main story mission... and I'm a big fan of the sort of Egyptian mythology and everything like that. They sold me on that mission. So I'm now going to be getting Assassin's Creed. And I'm someone who very much dislikes the whole Assassin's Creed franchise outside of the anomaly called Black Flag.
Unlike me, who just hates Assassin's Creed in general.
Yeah. I'm still not going to hold my breath, but I just want to enjoy it for the story. Again, the sort of button changes I feel might have been a little too drastic. They did need to change, but it might have been a bit too much. For what they did. Only way to find out is to like actually fully play the game. Might do a proper review later when that comes out.
As for Fractured But Whole,
didn't play it.
Didn't play it.
Apparently, there is a scene there that is very questionable, involving children, and some form of sexual activity, and I will leave it at that, and you can discover it on your own.
No. Don't discover it on your own.
So then moving on after that, we had Far Cry 5, which now Linko's going to come back to this, but I'm going to say what I've said for the past few games. If you played a Far Cry game, you've played them all. Only reason I will say this one's good is America.
There's way more to it than that.
Yeah, to a point.
If you've grown up in any southern county in America, any southern county, anywhere from frickin' Florida to what's on the west side?
Who cares?
Not Los Angeles, but before it. Anywhere between Nevada and fucking Florida, you know the type of villains that are in this game. You know these type of people. They're your fucking neighbors. It's a game where you get to shoot them. Now, what part of that doesn't, immediately make you want to play this game?
The part where it's still Far Cry 3.
You see, that's the thing with you. You seem to see that as a negative point.
To a point, yes.
Far Cry 3 was
Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 5. I get it. Far Cry 3 was fantastic. I'll admit it's fantastic. I give it a 9 out of 10. But it was a great game. Let it go, guys. Do Assassin's Creed thing. You got to change it up a little bit. Just a little.
Okay, you know what? I'll pay that. It's time to change it up slightly after this game.
Okay, then. After this game, I'll let that slide. There was another game I was going to bring up. Oh, speaking on that topic of change it up, feel I need to quickly throw this out there because there's a VR, and I'll get to it in Nintendo. Didn't play it, but there is obviously, Skyrim VR and Skyrim for the Switch. And for fuck's sake, Bethesda, move on.
We freaking want the next part of the map.
We get it. Skyrim was great. I'll admit it. It's great. He'll admit it. It's great. The world admits it was great. It's time to move on.
It is time for the next single-player game. Even though we were screaming for multiplayer for the longest time, you have scratched that itch with the MMO. You have finally succeeded in actually introducing a fucking jail system to that game as well. You have also done that correctly. You've been listening. So please, listen to us when we say, fucking Elder Scrolls 6. Please. Yeah. Enough is enough of Skyrim.
It's time to move on, buddy. Now then, coming back. After that, we had... Just trying to think if there's anything between Ubisoft and Xbox outside Nintendo. We'll get to that. I honestly don't think there was. Big title that I know was... Two big titles I know that were there that we didn't end up playing was Ni no Kuni 2 and Monster Hunter Worlds. Knew where they were, not interested, didn't play them. If they're great, let us know. Thumbs up.
I can comment. I don't know mechanics when it comes to Ni no Kuni, but I have had plenty of my friends tell me about how Ni no Kuni is like a godsend of the RPG world. I refute, without any moral fiber in me, that is not the case. However, I will ascertain that it is actually a decent game.
Fair enough.
Look into it if you like RPGs. That's all I'm going to say.
So now we'll come over to where Xbox and Microsoft was. So
Xbox One X!
We'll get to that. They first had Forza Motorsport 7. I did one race. I already made my comments earlier about Gran Turismo. Not great. If you want to get a racing game, get Gran Turismo. If you've only got Xbox, get Forza Horizon 3. That's my honest recommendation.
Or wait for 4.
Or wait for Forza Horizon 4. Don't know where that'll be, though.
Next year.
No, I mean, like, location-wise.
Ah.
So we've had Europe. I'm pretty sure the first one was America, and we've had Australia. Japan.
Hell no. No chance.
Yeah. They had Shadow of War over there, which wasn't advertised essentially at all. It's like, hey, come play Shadow of War. It's going to be a big game. And you get to the arena, and it's like, where is it? Yes. It's essentially what it was.
Yep.
They had a few other games there. They had Rise of the Tomb Raider there, which does really bother me a lot being a Tomb Raider fan, because I'm like, where's my Shadow of the Tomb Raider? You've announced the game. You've given it a title. Where is it? So that annoyed me a lot.
It's coming. It's coming, man. Chill.
I'm coming close enough. Phrasing. Now,
Ew.
also moving on from that, the two games we did try over there was literally a game we tried for about less than a minute-ish. That was Super Lucky's Tale. It's a game.
You tried that. I cringed.
It's a game, is all I will say. So that's a thing. Essentially, my biggest problem with it, I guess, is what are camera controls? Couldn't figure those out, and I didn't have the time and patience to do that. It looks pretty, though.
I want to say something that will be very controversial.
Go for it.
I don't like Cuphead.
Ah, well, that's what was coming up next. Great segue. Cuphead, yes. Now, obviously, cult favorite. Obviously, a whole big popularity thing going on right now. I will give it bonus points, and I fully love the art style and the animations, and it's all pretty, and it's all beautiful, and oh my god, nostalgia, punch it into a dead horse. But, despite all that positivity, it is still a run-and-shoot game.
Yeah.
It's still the same. It doesn't do anything new. It's all nostalgia, guys. If that's your thing, that's fine, and I don't care, and it's all cool, thumbs up, bro. But it's not anything special. Not like it's being made out.
No, not even slightly. It is... How do I put it? What is it when you take one game and then put something over the top of it and it's literally the same game?
A reskin?
Yeah. This is literally Contra reskinned.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's that's all it is. And if you play Contra, you've already played Cuphead. It's...
Nah.
You'd only watch it just to see, ooh, what type of formation is this boss? What does it do?
Nah.
To which I can only say, I'm not old enough for me to feel like that's nostalgia.
Yeah. I was just like, hey, cool art style. I like that art style. That's about all I can say. Now, the last game that we just need to come over, because in the Nintendo booth, they did have a lot of games currently out, because again, the Nintendo Switch is only, well, it's less than a year old, so they're still trying to shill out their games. They had Splatoon 2, they had ARMS, they had Pokken Tournament DX, like all these little ones. They had Skyrim for the Switch, which we didn't go near. And then the big one, Super Mario Odyssey.
Now that
is fun.
Is the second coming of Sunshine.
Sunshine? Oh, well, yeah, you do prefer Sunshine over Galaxy. Yeah. I was going to say Galaxy, but personal preference. Essentially, this is going to be a big chance to, just like what Galaxy did when the Wii came out, and really give Mario a big kick up the arse to be like, hey, here's another revamped version of Mario. Buy our games, and we'll all go buy them. Literally, that's what it is. But not to discredit it, it's pretty fantastic. They gave you 2 demo worlds you could choose from. You could either choose the desert world or you could choose the city, like the real world city. And we both went the real world city, which was pretty awesome. It does follow a lot of open world sort of mechanics of here's a mini quest, here's a mini quest, here's a mini quest, here's a mini quest. All completely optional. You don't have to do them, but if you want to complete it, you do.
Yeah.
And some of them are kind of cool, like, hey, let's go find some musicians, let's make a band. Some of them are your typical sort of, like, open world stuff of, hey, here's one of the, like, objective things you need to get in an unnecessarily high location. And some of them are just completely tedious, like jump a rope 100 times. Why, Nintendo? Why? I could get the 30. I could get it. Why 100?
Because it's a nice round number.
Because if something's worth doing once, it's worth doing 3 times. Once you get to 100, go do 200. And I'll get even angrier.
Honestly, you absolutely hate it. I absolutely love it.
It's only the jump rope thing.
Yeah, just the jump rope. I absolutely love that. But I still have like, oh my god, I want to jump.
My thing is, it's cool. The thing I hate about it is the 100 jumps. That's what I don't like.
Apparently the record on
On the day.
on the day was like 60 something. I couldn't get past 25.
No, you got 30 because you got the moon.
Oh yeah. I got to 30,
It might have
36.
been
Sorry,
30, yeah, I was gonna say it might have been
36.
35.
At 36, I'm like,
I
how the
lit-
fuck?
I walked in and messed up the first one, walked away, came back, did one jump, and that was it. And I was like, okay, I'm done. But no, it was a lot of fun. It's going to be fun to be able to essentially dump 100 hours into that game.
It is. First of all, you're dreaming if it's that little, and second of all, it's.
I'm glad you used the word little there.
Second of all, it's. How do I put it? It's. We said it before. It's smooth.
Yeah.
It's smooth and it's fluid.
It's not to say it's flawless. It does still have flaws, but it's the smoothest, most fluid Mario game in a long time. Probably ever.
Like, for its time, I would say it compares to the same, like, fluid motion that Sunshine had when it suddenly came out.
Yeah.
And Sunshine was like, ooh, all the smoothness of the figures, and oh my god, he's shooting water.
Yay!
Yes.
Clean that graffiti.
Yeah, it's the same thing here, but this time it's, oh my god, people!
Oh my god, you can jump on a tractor.
There was
Also,
a tractor.
a taxi, sorry.
Thank you.
Also, one thing that I found, it's in every open world sort of game, and it's the problem with this sort of thing, but I do need to bring this up. Only certain NPCs will be able to be overtaken. For instance, you couldn't run up to any human and throw your hat and turn into that human.
Oh, yes.
But there were a few humans you could do that. It's a typical open world thing that always happens. Annoying, but just so you're aware.
Slightly off topic. Look at this.
It's a foot. It's kind of weird.
Do I have the same situation here?
Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
a little bit, too. That's weird.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it as of tomorrow.
Literally, that's what walking 3 days has done to me.
Yeah.
Why is it so much worse on this foot?
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, so
Ew.
from all of it, I suppose, like, I'll give Ubisoft obviously the best presentation. I didn't do Bethesda or WB, but I assume they were exactly as they would have been, and Ubisoft destroyed them. Most disappointing has to go to Xbox.
Hang on, let me demonstrate Xbox's entire performance with one noise.
Literally. Look, it's an Xbox One. It does Xbox One stuff. Did you remember it was called Project Scorpio? Because that's what it is, and now we call it the Xbox One.
X.
There's a lot of X's that I'm missing there, but you get the drift. You get the idea.
And we got a
then
family version as well, though. Only built to compete against the freaking
The
PS4 Pro. Yeah, and it's only slightly more powerful than it, even though we got this one. It's like 1,000 times more powerful than it. We want you to buy this one, because it beats theirs.
Yeah. However,
and then the lie.
However, I feel the thing we have to get to is top 3 and bottom 3 game-wise. So, starting with bottom 3.
Of course.
Now, honestly, I've had to think about this for a little bit,
I didn't.
but for my bottom 3, I would probably say 3 would be... I'm just thinking. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Pick it and then one sentence.
Wait a minute. Super Lucky's Tale. Purely for essentially like what a camera controls. And it is literally this generation's, like, as in 5-year-old kids, it's their new Super Mario. That's what it's going to be.
No.
And then,
No.
no, hold up, let me finish this thought. It's what it's going to be. And then it's going to get shipped in the parking lot because Super Mario Odyssey's coming out.
If anything, it's the new Banjo-Kazooie.
Actually, that's a good point as well.
I'm sorry.
And it's still going to get shipped in the parking lot.
It's not even going to get shivved in the parking lot by Banjo-Kazooie. It's already getting shivved by fucking Yooka-Laylee.
True, actually. Ukulele is way better. And I haven't played that game.
I've played it a little bit. It is worth your time.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it's another Banjo-Kazooie just with a reskin. But if you like Banjo, you'll like it.
Yeah, fair enough. Your bottom 3, like number 3.
My number 3, that has to go to Drum roll, please.
That is not a drum roll. That's very disturbing.
My number 3, ironically, goes to Super Lucky Tail.
Yeah, it's not great, honestly.
It is by far, literally someone's gone, we need a main character to support our company, and so we can step forward as a platforming company. I know, let's make it a fox.
Yeah.
And let's call him Lucky, because that's not generic in every way, shape, and form.
Pretty much.
And let's have him collect coins. Oh, that's not overused as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
Oh, and he can fight flowers.
Oh,
that are evil.
My God. Fucking Banjo-Kazooie ripoff. 10 out of 10.
You know, that wasn't a very good IGN impression, but not inaccurate.
Alright,
as for number 2, this isn't even a decision for me. Number 2 for worst, by far, for me, is Forza Motorsport 7. It's just of everything, it's a disappointment comparing it to its literal rival, Gran Turismo.
And comparing it to its own product in Horizon.
Oh, Horizon destroys it. They come up, they square up for a fight, Horizon essentially sucker punches it and then just keeps kicking it while it's down. And it's like, look what I can do that you can't. That's right, I'm winning.
Oh, that is so goddamn accurate that it hurts. Him. Well, my number 2 shouldn't be that hard. It's fucking Cuphead.
Cuphead? Yeah, again.
It's a reskin. We've been over this. It's a reskin.
Yeah.
You can't get much worse than that except for the game that's in my first. And we'll get to that.
We will get to that. Number 1 worst. Like, the worst or most disappointing of everything. Just trying to think what I would say would be number 1. I knew what it was, and now I'm just trying to remember what I was going to say.
Was it a particular Warner Brothers option?
No, I can't say that because I didn't play it.
Alright.
Although I was the most bored by that. Spoiler alert, Shadow of War.
Oh, you have a really bad cough there.
Yeah. I'm literally just trying to think what else I essentially played that was, disappointing or bad.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, no.
No.
I don't know, you shoot first.
You really want my option?
Yeah.
I have a spiel for mine. So we might be sitting here for a while.
Go for it.
Alright. Now, with the games I've mentioned before, they've just had negative points to them. Or, they've just cheaped their way to what they are. Lucky Tail, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make something good. But they're entering an area where it's already kind of dominated by a particular red plumber. And, rare.
And essentially it's already being, as well, redone by a blue hedgehog as well, which, despite always getting destroyed by said red plumber, still somehow lives.
Yes, exactly. And now they want to bring in another one with no personality for the kiddies.
With, as well, as you mentioned, the ukulele with the lizard-bat combo at the moment.
Yeah, the freaking... I don't know. In that case, that's fine. I can see what they're trying to do. And that makes sense. Okay. I don't like it, but that's fine. Then, Cuphead, you've literally just tried to copy a game that's already succeeded rather well, and try to make it into your situation. Once again, that's been done before. I mean, literally look at Ukulele. Literally look at Sonic the Hedgehog. Everything. It's been done in the past, and it's succeeded. Your only credible characteristic in Cuphead is the nostalgic fact, which means you're only getting people who are literally older than us to kind of play it.
Yeah.
Or just people who are fans of that genre. Literally. Which means you're, picking your market, which is a bad move. But once again, I can see what you're aiming for. My number 1 has done something to their game franchise, which I don't understand. And that's Call of Duty World War II. Now, in previous Call of Duties, I stopped playing Call of Duties during the Black Ops age. I did play Black Ops 1, I did play Black Ops 2, but, I stopped.
I said Black Ops 2 was my last one.
I literally stopped because I was just tired of the Call of Duty series. I was sick of it at that point. I had been a loyal fan since, way back when they did the old World War games. World War. Excellent. So, yes. So, when I heard they were doing World War II, I was ecstatic. I was like, yes! They're going back to their roots. They might even take their good quality shooting back there. Oh, this is going to be actually amazing. And then they fucked up map creation. How do you fuck up something you've perfected over the last 2 decades? No, seriously. Over the last 2 decades, they have not had one map that was not below They've all been to this is awesome. This is the first time in a long time where I've played a map and thought, this is shit. This is absolute garbage.
You know, I was literally pulled out while you were going through that. I pulled out the EB Expo sort of list of games that was there, and I reread through everything because I can't remember what I originally said was my number one. But now going back over everything, I have to say Call of Duty World War II as well. Now my reason differs slightly. I agree with everything. My main reason is literally because, and I quote, pick up the damn phone because I fucking called it. We got in line and waited an hour to an hour and a half to get in there to play the exact game I said it would be because it's Call of Duty. And I said, look, for me to be impressed, this essentially has to be Legend of Zelda.
Which it never was.
It's not going to happen.
It was,
but that's the only way you're going to get me interested. But multiplayer I can still somewhat enjoy to a point. I did it with Halo, I did it with Battlefront, I did it with Battlefield. To a point, I can still enjoy the multiplayer. My two main issues was I had my secondary class I chose halfway through the run was the Shotgun Specialist because I played up close. Like in Overwatch, I would play a Tracer or a Sombra. So that's my sort of playstyle. And it literally comes down to map creation for that half of it in the way of I'm meant to be in their face. I'm meant to be getting in the way and distracting. How do I do that without a flank? That doesn't make sense.
That's why I hate the maps in this game. There is literally a point in the map they showed us where you can't flank them at all. There is two routes, and they both lead into the enemy's face, because that's literally where they are.
Yeah.
It's not that they're all on one side, or all on one other side. No, they are all there. That's not because they're good at their game, that's literally because that's where they are.
Yeah. And literally on the attacking side, when you spawn, you take about 5 steps, boom, there's the gridlock that we're talking about. It's right there, right at the spawn.
Yeah, there is not enough space for the attacking side there, and at the same time, the defense has way too many options to shoot from range.
Yeah, they have two different sides of turrets. Like they have a turret that's directly aiming at the objective, and then they have a turret that's directly aiming at the path you have to take to the objective.
Literally, you have two guys camp the freaking turrets, and the rest of them just shooting anyone who tries to take them out.
Yeah. And that's literally what the enemy team did to us.
Yeah.
And they won without much difficulty.
And we did the exact same thing back to them when we attacked first, and we won.
Yeah. But then my other thing as well was I was reading through, so during preparations, like, oh, here's all the loadouts and rah, rah, rah. And I'm reading through all the abilities and like, okay, cool, what can I do? And as you'll recall, my playstyle is Tracer.
Mm-hmm.
I am the infinite sprinter. I'm the guy that's going to run in, piss you off, run away, you're distracted, cool, teammate shoots you in the back of the head, you die. That is my playstyle. And I saw this ability that said, hey, you can run and shoot at the same time. And I thought this as, well, usually you can only run and when you go to shoot, then you stop. Cool, that sounds cool, I'll do that. No. By the way, everyone has limited running, which does make sense to a point of this whole realism thing, but why? That killed the specialty of that class. If I can run and shoot, or I can run, stop, then shoot, it's the same damn thing if we have limited sprint.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It killed it for me.
Like, the only way I can see that working is if you're literally using a heavy machine gun.
Literally.
And in that situation, why are you even shooting?
Which is what I was ended up doing eventually in the middle of that. I just got the heavy machine gun, and that's how we were, like, with everyone else. I think it's about 4 of our team members got the heavy machine guns, and then we just started pushing forward.
Just a hail of bullets.
Because it's the easiest way to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the goal is to win it. And when it turns into Overwatch and the whole of, it's not about the fun, it's about your winning, it stops being fun and starts being work. And I don't play a game to have work, I play a game to have fun.
Now, let's not get into the whole... let's not get into the Overwatch discussion.
That's a discussion for another video.
A discussion where I rip you apart.
Rip me apart?
Yes.
After what we had before with the whole Mercy discussion this morning, we'll get to that in another video.
That's a totally different nutshell.
Now, what I was going to bring up is through all the negativity, positivity. Best 3. So, normally after all that negativity, it'd be a bit harder to essentially go, gee, what really stood out or was great in some way, shape, or form? Surprisingly not that difficult, actually. I can tell you 2 games instantly that stood out to me, and the third game I thought was going to be one side, and literally on the final day, something just sleeper hit me and went, bam, cool, that's something I want.
I gotta be honest, we were talking about this top 3 earlier. I can't remember mine at all.
Well, now we get to go through it again.
Alright.
So, for me first, my number 3 for the third best game, I'm going to have to give it through to Assassin's Creed Origins. Reason being is now I only played about 8 odd minutes, maybe a bit less than that. I did 1 main mission. And the reason I stopped was initially for the new updated controls. And I was like, here and there. Now, the reason I stopped was because we have limited time to play. And if I'm going to learn a whole brand new set of controls, I'm not going through my 15 minutes limited time and taking about 8 minutes of that to learn the controls.
Yeah.
So, that was what it was. Still really fun. I really enjoyed it. And then again, I was very 50-50, and Ubisoft's presentation of Assassin's Creed sold me on the game. And the fact that they managed to sell me on the game at this expo, I can just easily give it number 3. I was unsure, and now I know I want it. It can take number 3.
So Assassin's Creed takes your 3, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna get flack for this.
Boo.
I'm gonna get flack for this.
I preemptively booed for you people, by the way.
No, it's fine. It makes sense for you to boo.
Boo.
My 3 is Fallout 5. Not Fallout 5.
Fallout 5? Wow, I didn't see that. Where was that?
Was it a secret area?
Oh, okay.
In the Ultimate Gamers section, you clearly didn't see it.
No, I completely missed it. I was busy playing Daytona.
No, trust me, it's amazing. No, fuck off. Okay, to the real point. Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
It's, yes, it is, once again, another Far Cry game, which follows the usual Far Cry pattern. However, I don't see that as a negative thing. They've done something good. Why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah, I guess. My only issue, which is why I give it a negative, is too much of a good thing makes it bad.
Agreed.
That's where my problem lies. And to me, it's hit that point. And I'm like going, I'm telling you this before it reaches this point. You need to think about changing this up now. Even if it's only slightly, this is the 4th game with this physics engine style.
Yes, they've gone through the same pattern several times. I like the series, and even I'm like, okay, even if this game comes out and it comes out perfectly, everyone gives it 10 out of 10 bullshit, that's fine. It's once again Far Cry 3, different story. I am perfectly fine with that. I wouldn't mind an evolution. I wouldn't mind a change-up. I'm not at the point where I'm like, change this now. And I'm not at the point of, you need to change this. I'm at the point of, maybe consider this.
Yeah, I mean, understandable. It's in both sort of ballparks right now. It can be either side, but it's coming to a universal agreement where it's kind of like, guys, you need to look into starting to change this now.
Yes, it's time to evolve.
Yeah.
Your number 2.
My number 2, now this is what I was saying just before, it came in as a sleeper hit. Now, my number 2 originally, I probably would have given to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, because I actually enjoyed that, but then that also comes down to the problem I brought up before of, like all you normal fighters, it only reaches a point till it stops being fun.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 2 is Gran Turismo. It was actually really, really fun.
In VR.
Specifically in VR. I should probably point that out. Which is why I'm going to now give it an asterisk, because you had to do that. So, look, I love Gran Turismo. I wasn't going to give it a second look, and my brother turned around and said, hey, why don't you give this a go? I thought it was great. So, on literally the final day, him and I queued up for the VR version of Gran Turismo. We both went in, and yeah, it was by far the best racer. I can honestly say it's the best racer of 2017. Like, it's not even close. Racing-wise, from a release standpoint, nothing comes close to it.
Wow. Really?
It was pretty on point.
Jeez. That's
But again, this is why I'm going to give it an asterisk and say in VR, because I didn't play it outside VR, so I don't know how else it's like outside of that. But within the realm of VR, it's pretty, like, surreal. With this asterisk, if I take that out because of that VR, and let's say that's not there, then easily sliding straight into its spot is Super Mario Odyssey. Absolutely easily, not even a question.
Fair enough.
I quite enjoyed it. It's literally, as we discussed before, it could be the new coming of Mario. Completely revitalize it again for like the 4th time.
It didn't really need revitalizing, and
yet
yet
it's gonna do it. It's gonna do it.
Alright, moving on to my number 2, which is really, really surprising to me. Because it comes out on a console I don't have, and I have no interest in buying.
Okay, there it is.
I have no interest in getting it. And then I hear this game, and I'm like, I wish I had it. Even though I still have no interest in buying it.
Which kind of is impressive. It makes you want to buy a console for one game.
Yeah. And that's freaking Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit, the game about the freaking android detective. From the makers of freaking Heavy Rain.
I'm not going to have to strict that from the record. If this game comes out as good as it is, like, from that sort of preview and demo, I want Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls stricken from the record. They never happened.
Heavy Rain does not get stricken from the record. It's an awesome game.
You say that. Heavy Rain's okay. Okay, I'll let it slide then. Beyond Two Souls gets stricken from the record, though.
Yes, get rid of that crap.
That never happened.
Yes.
So that brings us to number 1. Now, this is going to be fun because I said this is number 1. This was something that I played on day 1. Now, we got in on Friday for a special 2-hour session.
Because we're ultimate gamers.
We
Get
don't
on
talk
our
about
level.
that. We don't talk about that, plebs.
Get on our level.
But I will say, now I went into this with somewhat of an expectation level. And I was like, you know what, this could be interesting. This could be good, rah, rah, rah. And even with my expectations going in, it destroyed the expectations and went above and beyond what I thought it would. And I will honestly say, if it can keep that level, it's easily going to be in the nomination for Game of the Year next year. Not even close. Well, again, kind of close. I mean, like, in nomination-wise, it will be there. If it actually gets the Game of the Year is another question.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Detroit Become Human. The Android game.
We are... Okay, hang on. Clarify, because if you say the Android game, people are going to think mobile.
Yeah, the real Android game. The Android game about androids becoming sentient so other androids kill them. Yay, Androidception! No, Detroit Become Human is literally everything it's hyped up to be and more. I honestly have not... The best way for me to say this is what I said earlier. It's interactive, narrative, stupid genre done how it should have been from the start.
As a game.
Yes, literally.
It is amazing how well this company has done to actually achieve that.
It's like they took Heavy Rain and they took Beyond Two Souls and they went, cool, what is the same that they said didn't work? That. Let's change all of that.
Exactly. I am just sorry that I don't know the name of that company. I really wish I did.
All I know it as, and this is going to sound really bad, is the Ellen Page, David Cage, Rage Gauge. I don't know what the studio's called, but that's how I know it. And it's because of Beyond Two Souls, which is why I want to strike him from the record if this turns out as good as it can be.
I need to find out that company because they need to stretch out from PS4. Literally, that is the only thing stopping them from taking my money.
But that comes now to you. Number one.
I think it should be obvious what my number one is. I have been hyping it every time we talk about it.
Sonic Forces?
We talked about that once, and I didn't comment.
Oh, okay.
For the record, it has chances of being decent. I'm not holding my breath because it's a fucking 3D Sonic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I hope it does well because I'm a Sonic fanboy, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Fair enough.
But in all reality, my number one is Super Mario Odyssey.
How ironic.
I mean, we literally called it the third coming.
Literally, yeah.
Phrasing.
The third coming that didn't need to happen, yet it did.
Exactly. We differ on the second coming, but let's not get into that.
Yes. The argument, and you can bring this up between yourselves and whatever, but the argument essentially comes down to, what's better, Super Mario Sunshine or Super Mario Galaxy? Not Galaxy 2, Galaxy 1. Galaxy 2 is a piece of shit.
Stuff Yoshi.
Yes, literally. But, oh cool, I have actually just seen the time, and this has been going for a while. But yeah, that's pretty much all of EB Expo 2017. Overall, honestly, like on a scale of like a 5-star rating system, I would probably give it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
The games were there for the most part. The people were helpful for the most part. John Robinson was funny. Completely. The food...
Was food.
No.
It was stuff.
It was weak.
Substance, that's the term.
Yeah, let's just go with its substance and don't look into it. Most of my scoring system for this is me comparing it to Sydney, where Sydney has done it right.
Getting into that's going to be a discussion for another day. We might come back to that when the 2018 Expo gets announced.
Yeah. But to put it simply, games 3 out of 5.
And say, give it a rating out of 10. I'll give it a rating out of 10. I'll probably say about 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
Smack bang in the middle.
People will call your logic on that.
To be fair, they'll say 5 out of 10's logic. I'm comparing this with all the other ones. Like, this is now the 7th. Right in the dead middle.
I can't grade it that high. I can't. I just can't.
Go for it.
I have to. But I can't give it a... It has to be 5.5.
5.5 out of 10?
I can't give it a 5. It's not a perfect in the middle. I wasn't bored.
That's a good point. It wasn't exciting enough to be like, God, we absolutely have to come back next time. But it wasn't boring enough to be like, I never want to come back again.
Exactly. And 5 is the middle of ground. Like, yep, well, now I'm bored. But, there was enough there for me to be above the borderline.
Yeah.
Although at one point we were pretty much like, come on.
Yeah. That was right at the end. But
I called bullshit, by the way.
Oh?
I didn't get Judges Award again.
Oh, I know, right? But again, discussion for another day.
Segue!
Speaking of discussions for another day, that's all the time we're really going to have for this one here. So, once again, coming from moi, Laurie Croft, and that guy,
Linko100.
This is our channel. I don't even remember the name of it, but that's awesome. And yeah, that was EB Expo 2017.
This is probably going on yours, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.